Yeah, welcome to our conference, Digitalization of Culture. Today we're talking about the audio version of Nehoya and Crocodile, a Namibian story edited by Helvi Itenge. Welcome, Helvi.
Thank you,
And,
Doctor.
and our sound technician, Tangeni, Tangeni Tangi. Maybe you can quickly switch off your camera so that we can see you. Yeah, thank you very much. So, Nehoya and the Crocodile. Maybe Helvi, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you coming from and how did you come to this book? So,
Hi, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. My name is Helvi and I'm the author of Nehoya and the Crocodile. So I'm here in Windhoek, Namibia, and I wrote this book. It's a Namibian traditional story. I actually, when I was a child, my parents used to tell me these traditional stories around the fire. And when I had children, I wanted my children to have an opportunity to also learn about these stories. So I decided to write them down. And one of them is this Nehoya and the Crocodile. And I wrote it in 2012. And it actually won an award with the Namibia Children's Book Forum in 2012. Yeah. And I love writing. Yeah, I can't hear you. I think I don't know if your mic is mute.
thank you, like
Okay.
always. Do you remember what category it was? Was it best picture book or what was it? Or was it age group? Can you remember what category you won?
It was picture. It was picture book. Yes, it was picture book.
Oh,
That's correct. Yeah.
okay, great. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about your story. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to prepare the the audio version that we gonna listen then. Yeah.
So basically, Nehoya and Nkelo, they went to the river to fetch water. And while they were at the river fetching water, a crocodile came out and snatched one of the kids. So you have to watch this to know what happened.
So how did it came to the idea we made this audio version? It was, I think it was about in May when I was locked in Europe and I couldn't see it. I couldn't go, sorry, I couldn't go to Namibia. And all the libraries, they were locked, and yeah, people couldn't even go to a library or to a bookstore to buy some books. And then we thought, let's make something out that the people can um, at least watch or listen to a children's story at home. Actually, I think that was one of the very little Namibian stories that was published in that way during that time. I can't remember at any other publication.
Yeah.
Was that actually, or is that the first audio version, or you did digital with your books? Because I know it's not your only book.
Yeah. Yeah. It actually we Kishi Kishi and the Bad Monster, but that was just done by a little kid. This one I think this is the first one that I'm gonna hear.
So we have a slight sound problem.
Oh,
But
can you hear me now?
you are, yeah, you are back, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So what I said is that we have one teacher but constant up. However, the audio was done by a child. So Nehoya is the first to be done really professional. And you're gonna hear that Tangeni did a great job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, let's first hear the story. I'm going to share my screen to show you the story.
Long, long ago, there were two girls named Nehoya and Nkelo. Every day, the girls went to the river to fetch water. Nehoya always helped Nkelo to put her bucket of water on her head. One day, while Nehoya was putting a bucket of water on Nkelo's head, a crocodile came out of the river. Snap! He snatched Nehoya and took her to his house, down to the bottom of the river. Nkelo went home crying. Crocodile has taken Nehoya. She told everyone. A few days later, Nkelo went to the river all by herself to fetch water. But when she filled the bucket, it was too heavy. She could not lift it to put it on her head. She began to cry. And then suddenly, an old man appeared. "Why are you crying, little girl?" he asked. "The crocodile took my sister and now I'm all alone," said Nkelo. The old man gave Nkelo a mirror. "This is a special mirror," he said. "If you want something, sing and believe with all your heart." The old man disappeared. Nkelo took the mirror. She pointed it at the water. And then she started singing. "Who will put this bucket of water on my head now that my sister Nehoya is gone with the crocodile? Who will put this bucket of water on my head now that my sister Nehoya is gone with the crocodile?" While she was singing, big waves formed on the water. The waves grew higher and higher. Suddenly, Nehoya came walking out of the waves. She put the bucket on Nkelo's head and then went back into the water. Nkelo went back home. "Who helped you put the bucket on your head?" her mother asked. "Nehoya came out of the water," Nkelo said. "But then she went back again." The whole family was surprised with what Nkelo had to say. Then her father said,
"Let's go to the river tomorrow to see if Nehoya will really come out of the water."
The next day, they all went to the river together. When they arrived at the river, Nkelo once again filled her bucket with water. Then she pointed her mirror at the water a second time and started to sing.
Who will put this bucket of water on my head now that my sister Nehoya is gone? With the crocodile.
She sang, and once more, big waves appeared in the water. Soon, Nehoya appeared. Everyone hugged her and held on to her so she could not go back in the water. And they took her home, singing and dancing all the way.
Yeah, that was this story, Nehoya and the Crocodile, in the audio version. So now I would like to know, before we're talking with Tangeni, so what was your reaction from people when it was published? Helvi, what reaction did you get? Feedback, I mean.
Oh, you mean the audio, right?
Yeah.
The recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I received some calls from some parents, and they wanted to know, was it Namibian who did this? They were really impressed. They say their children are enjoying the story, and they want us to do more.
We're coming about that later. I want to do more, but I saw on that is actually published, was published on YouTube, and yeah, Namibia is has not so many inhabitants, but at least it was seen with about approximately 250 viewers.
Yeah.
Which is quite yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I think people, even after the conference, they gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
So
and
now,
hopefully share it.
yes, yeah. So because the aim is to promote literature to the children and Namibian stories to the Namibian people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, sooner or later they get forgotten.
Yeah.
But Tangeni, so tell me a little bit, how did the procedure? How was the? Sorry, now I forgot losing my voice. Tell us a little bit about the procedure. How did you do? How did you make? And was it only you? Because we had some different voices, from a girl, from a grandpa, and yeah. Tell us a little bit.
It was a so I got the request to digitalize to make the voice and have the pages running through, and I went to to a friend of mine. He's a music producer. I was gonna do it myself at home on my computer, but then my computer's mic takes in too much surround sound, so I went to him. He has a soundproof room, and he first I suggested, yo, can't we get some kids to come and do these voices? And I was like, no, don't worry. I can turn your voice into a kid's voice, and I can turn it into an old person's voice. And so he does music. That's his job, is more music. But here and there are musicians who also want to change their voice. So he changed the voices, and then he added some music. We did it together, yeah. I think I was lucky to have met this guy. I don't think it would have gone as well. And he wanted to keep it longer, and yeah, I let him. took a whole, he was like, can you leave this with me for a whole night again after that? He kept it the whole night again, and it was, so it wasn't a lot of voices, no, it was just the one voice. I had to change my pitch here and there, but he adjusted the pitch as well on with a music recording program that he had. Yeah, it took us, like, we started at around 8 in the morning and it went on till 2 a.m. I think. We kept doing over and doing over again, and then he said he still wanted to keep it, and yeah, soon it was ready. Yeah.
Great.
Was that clear?
Yeah, it was clear. Yeah, so that means we need a kind of professional background when it comes also to in terms of the places. So a normal mic and a normal laptop is not enough.
No. It's not enough. It won't do it as well. Yeah, you need a, because normal mics, they get taking a bit of an echo, and these guys have some programs that have noise reduction, and when you are there in the studio, they give you these headphones where while you're speaking you can hear yourself, like a short feedback, and it helps you control your voice as well. With yours, you get to hear yourself right as you speak, and he gives you a while to find a voice. And yeah, I don't think we should focus on, I don't think we should do things on our own. We should get the more experienced people to do their parts. I mean, if you write a book and then you also draw, and then you also, if you can draw, it will go well. But it's good to get the guys that do that every day to do that part.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Tangeni. Maybe you can switch off your mic because of the background noise again. And we ask you to unmute again later. But I've got a question to Helvi. So now the question is now, when when it comes to digitalize and put it on the social media like YouTube, aren't people, especially publisher, afraid that they're not selling their book?
Well, I think it's how you kind of look at it. Because I still think that there are still people who want to fill the book and have it and be able to read it. For example, if they're reading to their children before bedtime. So this is just another way to utilize it, and it's also a good way to market. So I think it's okay to do that.
And I just put my camera off because to have a better quality when you talk.
Oh, okay.
But now it's fine. It's working at the moment. But
okay.
You made this book also especially for your children.
Yes, and for the children of the world, of course.
Yeah. But my question is, how often did your own children, how often did they read the book?
Well, they're now teenagers. So when they were younger, they read it a lot. And I've seen a lot of children at some schools where I visit who are teenagers and they still want to read these books. I think they still enjoy the stories. So they know the stories by heart.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I don't know any one of the children's book that was also used once.
Yeah.
And so you need, that can be, I mean, the digital version can be an extra to the book, or even some people looking for the book while they saw the digital version. They want to have it in their hands, no? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that book still available?
Oh, yes, yes.
Mm.
In different places, at the Namibia Book Market, at
Mhm.
the craft center, sometimes in the book den. Yeah.
And of
And you
course,
can in the
in our
library.
library, yes, in
Yes.
our library, yeah, you can have
Yeah.
it. You can actually, you can have both versions in the library, the digital on our
Mhm.
screen and
Yeah.
the hard copy. You know.
Yeah. And it's also in other libraries around the world, in New York, Switzerland.
Mm. Wow, how
Yeah.
did you get there to in New York and Switzerland?
I just contacted and they bought copies.
Okay.
And also Australia and South Africa and many other countries. Yeah.
Wow, you see the Namibian stories going around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can also share with them the digital version as well with these libraries.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be a
Um,
good idea. Mhm.
so I've been asked from somebody in the chat if
Mhm.
I can share the link on YouTube,
Mhm.
which I've done. I hope everybody got it and saw it, and then they can watch it again or listen it again
Mhm.
um, on the on YouTube. Okay, yeah, but let me. There's something for Halloween popping up. Um, so what I wanted to ask, so is there, what is about your next project?
Well, there are many projects that I've been working on, like apps, and there's a project at People's Primary School called the Interactive Tech Library. So we have been creating digital technology tools to enhance reading experiences for children. And there are a few more books I've been writing. So 2022, hopefully we'll have this interactive tech library. We've been working on it for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And the Kishi Kishi book has been made into an app. Actually, three different apps, and we have one of the new books that is coming up called the Bubble Tree. And it has also an app already, and it's also in one of the there's an event, a world event in Dubai. The trade fair that have this one of the stories in the stories around the world.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's, I would say, so far about Nehoya. And if you didn't get the link now,
Mhm.
you just can check on YouTube and type in Nehoya and the Crocodile,
Yeah.
or you look for Goethe-Institut
Mhm.
Namibia on YouTube. It was actually, it was the very first contents on our YouTube page, because
Oh,
we didn't have the YouTube channel.
that's
And
amazing.
yeah, it was the first one because during lockdown it was needed to have some more
Wow.
digital contents. And yeah, maybe I've can leave the floor also for some questions. There is just one coming in.
Mhm.
Have you translated this book to any other African languages, Helvi? So this is
Not
actually
yet,
only in
but
English, no?
only at the moment, but hopefully in Namibian indigenous languages soon. Yeah. So
Mhm.
if you have any advice with great translators, then please recommend some to us.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, there are still some other events coming up with um, with digital contents like and Tangeni. Tomorrow morning, maybe I can have a closer look. Tomorrow morning, we're going to launch the first ever digital escape game with an action bound. That's an app that allows us to create some own digital contents, like a treasure hunt or and we created an escape game. So there is a child is locked in a library, and at night, because it was sitting somewhere in the corner, and the librarian goes home and didn't see the child still sitting there in the corner reading a book. And now the child must go out at night and getting must find a key, solve some questions to get the key to get out. So that will be tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And Tangeni was again involved in that. Tangeni, now it's your floor again. Let's have a quick review. A quick view. What have you done on this action bound?
For this one, I had to go. I had to go to a friend, a friend of mine from Mad Beats Productions. He's a music producer. He got some awards. He's a friend of mine from high school. So I went to him and I was like, yo, I want to do this. I want to record some voices. And because of what I did previously with Nehoya, I was familiar with the setting, with the situation. It didn't take us as long. I knew what was coming and what goes on. That now this time you gotta warm up your voice first, and we didn't have too many voices, and I think it was a chameleon, an elephant, a dinosaur, and an ant. Again, he changed the pitches. It seems like it's something that many music producers know how to do. Changing a voice from your normal voice to another voice. It was a bit of a struggle getting an old lady's voice, but it took like, I think, 3 to 4 hours for us to start and finish and export the files. Yeah, I was luckily experienced in the field, thanks to Nehoya.
Thanks for that little preview for tomorrow morning. But let's come back to Nehoya. So the first question from the public was about in other African languages. You said it is it an Ovambo story, the original, where it comes from? Or can you tell us a little bit, do you know where where it comes from which tribe or tradition?
Yeah, I heard it from, like I said, from my parents. So yeah, that's the Ovambo. But I've heard also similar, a little bit similar from the Kavango region. So it's typical Namibian, and it actually makes more sense from the Kavango because they have crocodiles. So yeah, definitely. So we have it already in Oshiwambo, not published, but we would like also to translate it in other Namibian indigenous languages.
But I know it is a bit difficult finance-wise to translate it in languages where there are not so many people speak that language.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many people speak the language in Kavango. Is it Timbushik? Oh, please help me. What is the language in the Kavango?
I know Rukangwari, one of them.
Rukangwali, yes, yeah.
Rukangwari,
there are not so
think.
Not so many people.
Because
so
we have one book already translated, but yeah, so I think it will be possible. It's just that when you do this kind of project, you also have to think of the customers, So if you don't have funding, it will be a challenge to print, and then you just sit with the books. That is one of the reasons why we have not done it so quickly.
And another question is that maybe we have to find out if we're gonna make an audio version in another language. Are these people, let's say, especially in the north, in rural areas, do they have access to the digital version? That I'm not quite sure.
I
but
think
maybe
you'll be
we can,
surprised.
yeah, maybe we can have a look into it and see what we can do together, and see what we can make out of it. Then it would be definitely good to have that in the traditional language, and maybe go into schools or into kindergarten in the north and provide them your story as well.
Yeah.
Maybe with the reading, maybe we can organize a trip there in the north and have a small tour, a Nehoya tour.
Yeah,
But,
as I can see, some of the audience are from students from the north. Like here in the audience, I can see two, Dina and Dinelao. They are primary school learners.
oh, you see, there we have some people that can maybe help us.
Yeah.
But we also have people from joining us from South Africa, I think from Cape Town.
Oh, wow.
And it's Madhi. We met already at another meeting, who asked, who's the illustrator and the artist of this book? Please share, or his social media contact. The book is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's Ambrosius Yela. And I'm not sure if he's on social media, but I'll find out and I'll share the contact details with the truth.
Maybe.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
I just want to share again the cover. No? And I think the name of the artist is written at the back, or the second page of the book.
Second page, yeah.
Yeah. No. So, but maybe you can share the name of the artist in the chat, so that Mate can maybe have a look into it. By this way, I mentioned already we would like to invite Madi next year to Namibia for an illustrator workshop early in the year.
Okay.
And yeah, then we can also invite, what was his name again, the artist of this book? We're losing.
Ambrosius.
We're losing now.
Ambrosius.
We are back. Ambrosius, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe he can join us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that let me see if there is another question. Yeah. So Ambrosius Amuniela is the. So are there any other questions, or did I say that it's still available? I said that, no? So you can still check it on the internet, on YouTube. And I think I shared the link. Yeah. So are there any other questions from our audience? It doesn't look like. Then, yeah. Okay. Then I would say,
share with everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, I must share with everyone. No, I shared directly with. Okay.
Oh, you shared. You shared it only to me.
I guess.
Yeah, you shared it only to me.
Okay, I did.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe then I also can share the link again to everybody. So then everybody has got now the illustrator's name and direct link to YouTube, and you can listen it again. Okay, I think then we can finish with our session today. Just a quick view of tomorrow's program. We have, like I said already, at 9 o'clock, Action Bound, a digital treasure hunt in the library. Not a treasure hunt, an escape game. We have Ke Lihapene, a digital exhibition from South Africa. Then we have a talk with Patrick Sem about digitalizing public investments in art, culture, and heritage. Very interesting for artists in Namibia. They need help. And we have got another event from, I hope I pronounce it correctly, from South Africa, Mojao's Kingdom, a children's mobile game. That could be maybe an option to give Mazi allowance to speak. I don't know if you have got a mic, if you can unmute. I give you the right to speak. That is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Can you tell us a little bit about tomorrow's event?
Hey, hello everyone.
Hello?
Thank you very much. Thank you much. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Yes. My name is Mazi. Mohau's Kingdom is a mobile game that we did. So it's the one that we will introduce and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. So yes. And thank you very much for this platform. And I really enjoy to listen to this story. Very powerful story. And I really like how we put audio into our children books, because at the end of the day we have to tackle to improve reading and also improve how they actually pronounce and all that. So it's really a nice way of approaching to improve literature. And I really enjoy it. It's so nice because what I like about it, even if you don't watch it, when you listen to the voice, it's really, really, really amazing. Good work from the team, and also the voiceover is really amazing. And it's so kid friendly. And I believe it's something I'll also share to the kids I know it's one of the collection that I do, because I usually collect books and materials that I can do whenever I'm around with kids, so that they can also improve that. So I would love to also let you know that this book is really an amazing book, and I believe it will go far as it can. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Madhi. And then at last minute, there came another question. And I think it's mostly to Helvi, but maybe somebody else can also give you the comment. What did you learn when you wrote this book, Helvi? Very interesting question.
Wow, thank you for the question. I've learned a lot. I've learned that the best audience or the reviewer are the children. So you give the books to the children and they give you their feedback. And also, I've also learned that illustrations also play a big role. And yeah, and you have to really have the love of story, because writing, especially in Namibia, it's not really something that you can live on, because a lot of people still are struggling with it. We are still struggling with the culture of reading. But I've learned that our children are interested if they're introduced at an early age. If you go to schools when they are still young, then they'll grow up and they will love books and stories.
There's actually also, to answer the question from the public, something we did not touch, because at the end of the book, if I can share again my screen, at the end of the book, there are some questions like, who took Nehoya into the river? And what gave Nkelo, who gave Nkelo a special mirror? And what did Nehoya and Nkelo do every day? So, of course, these questions touching the target, that did the children follow the story? Could they follow the story? Can they remember? What other reasons did you choose for? What other reasons did you choose the questions?
Say that again.
No, I'm asking, what was your motivation to choose these questions? I can imagine the first one is also touching about the danger in that region, when at the Kavango region, when you go and get water, and it happens every year that some children are injured or even dying by crocodile attack. That it's a reality, even when it doesn't happen so often, but it happens.
Yeah. You mentioned it already, basically to make sure that, to see if they were listening and they were paying attention, and if it was easy for them to remember, because sometimes you see you have some of the stories that have difficulties, difficult words and so forth. So I wanted to make sure that the children are able to remember what they read.
Yeah, and even you can go a little bit deeper into it when you're talking about who gave the mirror, and then asking questions like, can you remember what the color of the mirror was, the frame? What did they do with the mirror? Going a bit, give them a platform to talk about the story and what they have seen. No? So I hope that question was answered somehow, because there might be some other reasonable answers, but I think some of the questions some aspect had been answered. Okay, good. Then I think we can close the session, and I hope again that you enjoyed it. And thank you very much, Helvi, and thank you very much, Tangeni. And I hope we'll see some of you tomorrow, one of the 4 events. Look at Goethe.de/Namibia and look at events to register at the next events. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.